These are a 4-pack of rechargeable safety light. This is the box that they're coming in right now. There's 4 of them. They have that E26 base that everybody likes, so this is the standard base on them. A couple things to remember. So they have this cover. You got to take it off, and then you can plug them in. And they're just like a normal, regular old light bulb for a socket, right? You would think. Now they're a little bit wider, so you can see the light on there. They're not on right now, but they're kind of a bright color. There's some other ones here. I'm actually only just taking them out for one purpose, which is below everything in here. They're going to include 4 of these little hook adapters. You get 4 individual lights, and they're all conveniently wrapped. They do have their safety ports on the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and screw this in now. This is a hot outlet, and you know what? The light out is pretty impressive. I've got a pretty bright studio, but you can't even see the light. There's so much going on. You can see how the shadow that it's casting. It's a really bright light, and my studio is already bright. So this is a regular light. So let's say you're working on something, and all of a sudden the power goes out. So the power's off here, it's off there, it's off on your light. You can take this light out. Now watch this. This is a trick and a half. If this works, I'll have to make sure I got the right one. You screw it into this base, and it's back on. Now, how the heck they pulled that off? I thought, okay, that's pretty cool. So this light actually has a battery inside of it. It's an LED bulb that doesn't use a ton of power. So it's an LED bulb. It has little ventilation sockets on the side, but this is an emergency light bulb. It will run for hours. I'll go pull up the exact numbers on Amazon, but it's going to run like a normal light bulb all of the time. But when you need it to be an emergency light, you unscrew it and you put it in this. Now, I've also noticed that it's capacitive. So you unscrew it, and if you touch the base and the side, you can turn it on and off. So as long as you can create some conductivity here, you got your hands wet enough or whatever it is. So if you're looking for this hook, maybe you leave this hook nearby a light or something if you know that that's the light you're going to do. This one is for convenience if you're out camping, let's say, and you don't want to be holding the light and using it like I showed this way. So you can actually screw this in. So yeah, again, you've got a light right here in your hand that's rechargeable, and it's going to last for hours. So this was a kind of cool thing. Like I said, my RV does not have this kind of lighting socket, so I'm not going to be able to use it like this, but I'll show you another trick here. So it's on and the power is off. So there's enough resistance, I'm guessing this little connector here, we'll see. There's enough resistance in this circuit that it's tricked it into turning on. But let's go ahead, and I'm going to plug it in and use it like a normal light and a light switch. Now it's going to get a little bit brighter when it's not on battery. There you go. So it bumps up the brightness, but when I turn it off like with a regular light switch, it's going to turn off. Turn it back on. There you go. So it's got that capability. And then, like I said, you can unscrew it, and hopefully just by touching it, you've turned it back on. So, there's some difference, standard bulbs, which I'm going to show you some later here versus this one. So it's saying 1200 milliamp hour battery. That's pretty good for that. That's why it's actually saving so much time. 15 watt LED, which is really bright, as I told you before. You could use this in basically everywhere. I'm thinking 2 places now that I'm going to use this in my house. In our kitchen, we have a light above our dish area that's reachable. That would be great. And then in our hallway, there's another light there that I know it's a screw-in base. It's about 100 watt equivalent. You don't need to start them with power. Like I said, I'm starting them right here with just my hand on the back. And if I don't want to have my fingers on it the whole time, I can sit there and screw it in, and once it makes contact, I can go hook this anywhere I want, like here, and now I've got a light. So there's no power going to it right now. I just hooked it on the side. The power is off, as you can see, and it's still working. So pretty cool product there. So let's talk about how long it lasts here. 28,000 hour lifespan as a light bulb. It's a 6000 Kelvin, so if you're looking, that's going to be more like your daylight. It's not necessarily going to be super bright blue, like there's some that are 7 or more. 6000 is pretty white. Let's call it very stark white. So it's not going to have any yellow to it. And then 4 to 5 hours without power. And like I said, it dims down a little bit when it's not on power, but pretty cool. You do need a standard socket base. So it's the E26 socket base on this one. If you're out camping, I could see a total use case for this.